Your dog is standing in front of you holding their favorite squeaky ball. They drop it at your feet, take 2 steps back, and stare at you with an intensity that feels almost urgent. You assume they want to play. You pick up the toy and toss it down the hallway. They watch it bounce twice, glance back at you, and walk away without retrieving it. This happens multiple times a week, and each time you're left wondering, what just happened? The common explanation is that your dog is confused about the rules of fetch, or they're teasing you, or they've simply lost interest mid-game. A second explanation, popular in dog training circles, is that they're testing your willingness to engage, establishing some kind of social hierarchy. Both of these are incomplete. What's actually happening involves a communication system that researchers are only now beginning to decode. And it looks nothing like either assumption. Number 1. The offering isn't about the object. In 2021, researchers at Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest conducted a study with 37 domestic dogs using high-value toys and functional MRI scanning to observe brain activity during object-sharing behaviors. What they found contradicts the basic premise of the interaction. When dogs brought toys to their owners, the caudate nucleus, the region associated with reward anticipation, showed heightened activity. Not during the retrieval or the chase, but during the moment of presentation. Specifically, the 3 to 7 seconds when the dog was holding the object near the human without releasing it. The dogs weren't seeking the throw. They were seeking the attention spike that happens right before you take the toy. A companion study from 2019 by Dr. Monique Udell at Oregon State University tested 61 dogs in a choice scenario where they could either play with a toy alone, play fetch with a human, or simply sit near a human who acknowledged them verbally without physical interaction. 78% of dogs chose proximity with acknowledgement over independent play, and 43% chose it over active fetch. The toy, in most cases, functions as a social tool, not a play object. It's a mechanism to guarantee your focus. Your dog has learned through repeated interaction that carrying something to you creates a reliable pattern. You stop what you're doing, you look at them, you often speak to them, and your attention becomes fully theirs for a measurable window of time. Number 2. Why they walk away after you throw it. The walking away behavior after a failed throw reveals something about expectation mismatch. In 2018, researchers at the University of Vienna examined what they called unfulfilled social bids in dogs, tracking 52 dogs over multiple sessions where owners responded to toy-presenting behavior in different ways. Throwing the toy, holding the toy and talking to the dog, ignoring the dog entirely, or taking the toy and setting it aside while maintaining eye contact and verbal interaction. Dogs showed the least stress-related behaviors, measured through cortisol samples and body language coding, during the 4th scenario where the toy was acknowledged but not thrown, and the owner engaged verbally. When the toy was thrown immediately, 61% of dogs showed what researchers classified as approach avoidance conflict, moving toward the thrown object but pausing, looking back at the owner, or abandoning the retrieve entirely. What this suggests is that the throw, for many dogs, interrupts the actual goal of the interaction. They wanted connection. You gave them a task. From the dog's neurological perspective, the reward they were anticipating, your sustained attention, gets replaced with a different reward structure entirely. Chase, retrieve, return. That's not necessarily unwanted, but it's not what they asked for. The walking away isn't confusion. It's a form of communication. They're showing you the thing you did wasn't the thing they needed. Number 3. The pacifying function of object transfer. There's a second layer happening underneath the attention-seeking explanation. Research from 2020 by Dr. Jennifer Winslow at Duke University examined 44 dogs in households with variable stress levels, using both owner-reported stress scales and cortisol measurement in the dogs themselves. Dogs in higher stress environments, either from owner anxiety or household disruption, showed a 340% increase in toy-presenting behavior compared to dogs in stable, low-stress homes. The behavior appeared most frequently during transitions, when the owner was preparing to leave, immediately after the owner returned home, or during moments of raised voices or unusual household activity. What the researchers found was that the act of bringing the toy served a regulatory function for the dog. The presentation creates a predictable interaction script in an otherwise unpredictable moment. You see the toy, You react in a known way, and the dog experiences a brief window of behavioral certainty. In evolutionary terms, this mirrors behaviors seen in wolf pups, who bring objects to adult pack members not for play, but as appeasement gestures, a way of saying, "I'm engaging with you in a non-threatening, socially appropriate way." Your dog isn't just seeking attention. They're often seeking to smooth over a moment they perceive as tense or uncertain. The toy is a peace offering. The request isn't, "Play with me." It's closer to, "Let's do something we both understand right now." Number 4. Why certain toys get chosen. Not all toys get presented equally, and the selection process reveals intentionality that most owners don't recognize. A 2017 study from the University of Bristol analyzed toy choice patterns in 83 dogs, cataloging which objects dogs brought to owners versus which they played with independently. Dogs overwhelmingly selected soft, fabric-based toys for human presentation, 73% of the time, even when harder rubber toys were their preferred independent play objects. The researchers hypothesized this relates to mouthfeel and the dog's ability to hold the object gently without triggering their own prey drive arousal. A soft toy can be carried calmly. A squeaky rubber ball often activates chase and bite behaviors that make the calm presentation difficult to maintain. There's also a scent factor. Dogs preferentially brought items that smelled most like the owner, either through repeated handling or items that had been in the owner's space, like slippers or clothing. A follow-up analysis found that 68% of presented toys had been in contact with the owner within the previous 24 hours. The dog isn't choosing randomly. They're choosing the object most likely to create a bridge between their scent profile and yours, maximizing the social resonance of the gesture. The toy is a jointly held object, and the scent mixing that happens when you both handle it serves a bonding function that researchers compare to scent-sharing behaviors in wild canids. Number 5. The request for ritual, not randomness. What ties all of this together is the dog's need for predictable social interaction. Research from 2022 at the University of Lincoln in the UK tested whether dogs preferred novel interactions or repeated, ritualized ones. They exposed 49 dogs to 2 conditions: owners who varied their response to toy presenting unpredictably, and owners who followed the exact same script every time: a specific phrase, a specific type of touch, and a specific duration of attention. Dogs in the ritualized condition showed 40% lower cortisol and returned with the toy 85% more frequently over a 2-week period. The consistency mattered more than the content. Your dog is asking you to participate in a known script. They bring the toy because it's worked before. It created a moment where both of you knew what was happening, where the interaction had a clear beginning, middle, and end. That structure is comforting in a way that spontaneous affection, while valuable, cannot replicate. When you throw the toy immediately, you're improvising. When you take the toy, hold it, acknowledge them, and then either engage in gentle play or simply sit with them for 30 seconds, you're honoring the ritual they're requesting. The next time your dog drops a toy at your feet and stares at you, here's what's actually happening. They're using an object to guarantee your attention in a moment when they need connection or reassurance. They've chosen that specific toy because it holds scent information that links the two of you. They're not confused when you throw it and they don't retrieve it. They're showing you that the throw wasn't the goal. What they wanted was the moment before the throw, when you stopped, looked at them, and your focus became undivided. They're asking for a predictable interaction, a small ritual that confirms the relationship is stable and you're available. The toy is a communication tool. The request isn't for play, it's for presence. And if you pause, take the toy, acknowledge them with eye contact and voice, and give them even 30 seconds of calm, focused attention before deciding whether to throw it or set it aside, you're giving them exactly what they came for. If this changed how you see your dog's behavior, subscribe and let me know in the comments what toy your dog brings most often.